Trojan family, what's up, man? USCJ here. Listen, man, I hope everybody is having a good day, man. We want to talk about Deion Sanders real quick, man. Is Deion using the blueprint of Lincoln Riley? And what I mean by that, all of us know that Lincoln Riley, he did an incredible job last year. He turned the transfer portal, well, turned USC around using the transfer portal. He essentially did something that really has never been done before. Listen, when you guys come on, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. You guys know that it's going to be USCJ32 on Instagram. It's going to be USCJ32 on Twitter. Now, Lincoln Riley, as I was stating, did something that has never been done before, really in the history of college football. And I made reference to him when he used that blueprint of the transfer portal. He kind of, did what Mel Tucker did at Michigan State. And Mel Tucker had one level of it. However, Lincoln Riley last year had a whole nother level of it. And when we look at what USC did, having a 4-8 season, and then we look at what Colorado's doing this year, is Deion Sanders essentially following the blueprint of Lincoln Riley? We're going to look at the numbers. We're going to see the transfer portal in and the transfer portal out. How many players did he have coming in and how many players did both of them have coming out? And if we look at it, this situation, this seems to be kind of identical. And, I hear some of the same language from outlets, media outlets, making reference to Deion Sanders, saying it's going to take a couple years. It's going to take a couple years. Well, they said the same thing with Lincoln Riley, and I'm not pulling for Colorado because we play Colorado. USC plays Colorado, so and then we move to the Big Ten the next year. So this year, I'm not looking for Colorado. Well, let me say it like this. I don't necessarily want Colorado just to have the most success this year because Colorado plays against us. They can do it all they want after we leave. But when I look at what they're doing right now, I can't deny what I'm seeing. What I'm seeing is essentially the same blueprint that Lincoln Riley used, and the same page out of Lincoln Riley's book Deion is essentially using, and he's kind of doing it somewhat quietly. You see him loudly on from a public standpoint. Everybody sees him and the media sees him, but when you look at what he's doing secretly, it's like he's pulling the same taking the same page out of Lincoln Riley's playbook. And look, I want to know from you guys, what do you guys think? Do you think Deion Sanders is on that same level? So let's take a look at the numbers, and let's take a look at the players coming in and the players coming out. And you guys hit me in the comment section. You guys tell me what you think. Is Deion going to have success? Because a lot of media outlets, they said that, look, Lincoln Riley, it's going to take him 3, 4, 5 years. And Lincoln Riley came back with an 11-3 season. And as a result, went to a conference championship. And now he's building on top of that. And, it didn't take him as long as what they suggested that it was going to take, or said it was going to take. So look, let's take a look at that. You guys hit me in the comment section. Let's look at these portal numbers and let's see exactly what Deion is doing. Let's go. This is going to be USC's 2022 record. Excuse me, not record. When you talk about transfer portal, this is going to be the transfer portal class. And if you see, some have us, 24/7 Sports has us as the #1 transfer portal class last year. But this is on 3. We're just going to use on 3. On 3 had us #2. But if you come down over to the column on the right, you'll see 5 stars that we had coming in. Of course, Caleb Williams and Jordan Addison. Jordan Addison and Caleb Williams, they were the 2 5 stars we had coming in last year. And then if you look at the 4-star column, you'll see the 4 stars. We had 4 coming in last year. And then you see here the 3 stars. We had 4 3 stars coming in last year as well. So when you look at the transfer portal class, you'll see we were ranked #2. #2, total transfers coming in, we had 19 last year. And last year going out, we had 25 going out. So you see, that's the numbers right there. 19 in, 25 out, 2 5 stars, 4 4 stars, and 3 3 stars. So that gave us a score, index score of a 42. Now let's take a look at what Colorado and kind of compare that to this year and see exactly what they have going this year. Now, this is going to be on three. This is going to be on three. Their projection right now, as it stands right now, transfer portal, they have UCLA number one, and they got Colorado number two. So I just gave you, and you see USC right here at number five, which we'll see that, the transfer portal is not over yet. We'll see exactly how this is going to end up. You remember, according to their grade, we had a 40. I can't remember. I just gave you the grade, 40, 43, 44, something like that. But you see here, they got a 39 index for us this year. But look, Colorado, total transfer players they got coming in, which we had 19 last year. Don't forget. They got 24 that came in. Remember, they had a one-win, was it one or two-win record this year? But they had 24 players in this year, 13 players out. Now, that's not a whole lot of players that were out. Because you got 85-man roster. So Colorado still has quite a few players. If you recall, we had quite a few players that were out, but we still had some players in. And so those players that we had in, of course, they made a contribution. They made a good, of course, like a Caleb Bullock or Corey Foreman, all those different players that we still, Max Williams, those guys that we still had in, they still stayed and still made a huge effort towards the wins that we had. And you see Colorado with only 13 players out, they still got quite a few players there, but these guys that they got coming in at number 20, at 24, those guys are going to make a big impact. And we know that the 5-star they got coming in, that's the first one. This is not even including the recruiting class, but the 5-star, they got the Travis Hunter, which was like the number one one of the number one transfer portal players in. And you see here 1 4-star, but here's the big number right here. When you look at total number of 3 stars, 23 stars, that's quite a few 3 stars they got coming in. I mean, when you talk about 3-star players, those are players that are productive. These are not incoming freshmen. These are transfer players that can make an instant impact on the field. Now, here's the question. Can they, one of the things that I praised Lincoln Riley about was that he was able to blend a family like no other. We hadn't seen that. Nobody's seen that in college football. Lincoln Riley was able to blend the family together, blend these players together, and create a great atmosphere and create a great team that made a run for the championship run, which was the Pac-12 championship. We lost in it, but to go 11-3 your first season with all those players out and the few players that we had coming in, I think Lincoln Riley was able to gel that thing together. He said he made reference to it the spring prior to that. He recognized that he had something special, but he wasn't for sure exactly. He was just saying that if we could just put it together, which they did, he knew that he would have something special. Well, Colorado was in that same situation. Can they put it together like the way Lincoln Riley put it together? That's the question. Now, I will say some of the coaches that Deion Sanders is surrounding himself around. When you look at somebody like the ex-Baylor head coach, I believe he's the defensive coordinator, I think. He's on the staff. However, that guy had a lot of success, Art Browse. He had a lot of success at Baylor. He was dismissed for some type of situation that happened. We're not going to speak on that. But he had success, and as a result, he had a good team. So he is a good coach. It looks like Deion is surrounding himself around some coaches that have good experience, great experience, and knows what they're doing. Now, the question is, can they blend it together the way Lincoln Riley blended together and the way Lincoln Riley had the success? That's yet to be seen. But we can say this, secretly, it appears that he's putting something together. Whether they can do it in the first year, we're not sure. I don't think Mel Tucker all the way did it his first year. It took him to that next year, and we may see a similar thing, which I told you guys, we don't care what they do after this year, because we're trying to make a run this year. We'll be out of the Pac-12 this year. So look, you guys hit me in the comment section. You tell me what you think. Is Deion taking the page out of Lincoln Riley's playbook and using it for him right now with his current staff? Hit me. Let me know what you think. All right, so that is the numbers. Is Deion Sanders using the same blueprint? Is he taking the page out of Lincoln Riley's book when you talk about transfer portal and blending this thing together and making a team, creating a big time championship level team. And one of the things I want to say is that I think that when you're talking about USC and doing it on the level that Lincoln Riley did, because you guys remember Mel Tucker, I think it took him more than just a year. I think it took him 2 years to really get this thing off, and then he was able to have that success. So my thing is this: what is the X factor when you're talking about the success rate that Lincoln Riley had and how he has established his footing? Would you want to say it's going to be Caleb Williams? I mean, we all talked about Caleb Williams is a generational player. He's not only that, he's the Heisman Trophy winner. And as a result, Lincoln Riley, without no Caleb Williams, this whole thing wouldn't even go. And I think that's the X factor when you're talking about because, you know, if you look at Colorado's numbers right now, Colorado's numbers, they got some pretty good numbers. When you talk about the 3-star players they got, when you talk about the 4-star and the 5-star players they got, Colorado actually has good numbers, and they got some pretty good coaching to couple that with. Deion Sanders is a Hall of Famer. He's a good coach. So look, let's keep it 100. Now, this is not to take anything away from Shiloh Sanders. Shiloh, I believe he's a good quarterback. He was a 4-star prospect when he came out of high school. So look, man, you guys hit me in the comment section. Do you think Deion Sanders is building something on the same level as Lincoln Riley, man? I want to know that. You guys hit me. Let's have a dialogue. Let's have a conversation about it. Holler back at me. Talk back to me about it. And look, you guys know where you can find me. It's going to be USCJ32 on Instagram, USCJ32 on Twitter. Until later on, listen, everybody stay focused. Stay focused, and make sure you get up, get out, and make some things happen. Focus. God bless. Fight on, fight on, fight on.